So after watching Too Many Losing Heroines, I really enjoyed it. It was funny, it had sentimental parts, I loved the characters, it was always entertaining, animation was great. It was definitely a 9 out of 10 anime. But this reminded me of something. It really did. It reminded me of an anime I watched way back. And it was one of my personal favorites when it comes to comedy. And it's great. Imagine if you hear this case scenario. A guy who doesn't fit in well finds himself inside of a club where he's the only guy. Well, technically, the main character from Too Many Losing Heroines is not the only guy technically in the club, but he's the only one that people really talk about. He's a bunch of around of other girls with some issues going on, and he doesn't want to get close to any of them for his own personal reasons. He doesn't want to be around them in that intimate kind of relationship, even if the others will see him that way. And like, that reminded me of something, and a viewer of mine, you know who you are, told me to talk about it. I'm like, oh yeah, that anime, Haganai I don't have too many friends, or I don't have many friends. Yeah, it's that one. It's a story about a guy in the same situation, but not about a bunch of girls who were turned down, but instead it's about a guy and a bunch of girls who don't have no friends at all because they're socially awkward or there's something wrong with them because of their past or their upbringing. It's around that thing. It's hilarious. It's funny. First season, you cannot watch around anybody. Second season was a bit more tame, and I'll talk to you why there's a third season and stuff. So it's ridiculous. So, anyways, the main character is Kodaka. Kodaka is a guy who moves to a new school, kind of like a Catholic school in Japan, and he's looking to find some friends. However, he can because of the color of his hair and his appearance makes him seem like a very tough guy to link with. So because of that, he ends up not making no friends at all. Until one day he walks into a classroom and see a girl talking to herself. Is Yuzora. You know, she is talking to herself a lot. And turns out she has an air friend. And turns out none of them have friends. And they decide, let's make a club called the Neighbors Club, where you go there to learn to make friends. So along the way, you get to see other characters join the club. From a girl who's too perfect, from a girl who's very smart, to someone who wants to become a true man, and a little smart bratty girl, a girl of Nubio, um, the arrangements, and some others as well. So they go in this club and they just spend time goofing off and try to do things that normies do, but most of the time they end up failing so miserably because they don't know. Some of them want to show they can be kind, but have a hard time showing it. Others are just plain mean and don't see the point of doing regular things that normal people do. They find it stupid. So in a way, I feel like this story was created where the author wanted to show some of the things that normies do that's kind of dumb and makes no sense, in a way. But at the end of the day, even if it doesn't make any sense, even if it's just pointless or useless, they want to still be a part of it because they don't want to be alone at the end of the day. So as the show goes on, besides funny antics, it's lewd antics and some of its questionable antics. Um, you start to see more of the characters and why they are in the position they are in. Damn, I struggled with that word back there. um, for instance, Yuzora's there because she can be sometimes off-putting, mean, standoffish, but she is good at babysitting, keeping people in check. She makes a good leader, but she has her own personal issues, which I don't want to get into because I don't want to spoil things. Well, actually, they don't really say it in the anime, but more of the source material. You have Santa, the girl who's Little Miss Perfect. She is good at everything, very smart. And she's looking for a place just to kill her boredom. But it turns out she's very naive and ignorant and oblivious to the things around her, which causes her not to have any friends. Then you have a girl like Rinka, who's extremely smart. But at the end of the day, she does not make any friends because she doesn't understand how to do interactions with other people, and so on and so forth. You understand what these girls are going through and why they have the problems they have and stuff. So that's nice to know. Now, this has 2 seasons, and they're hilariously funny, especially the part where Senna has to say a line from her game, or the one when they're riding the roller coaster, or when they're playing the King's game. Those are very funny moments. But um, as the show wraps up towards the second season, Wheeler left off on a big cliffhanger and left off of some very shocking revelations. You know, in most anime, where the main character acts completely oblivious when he's surrounded by a bunch of girls, and one of those girls eventually starts to fall in love with him, but you have the main character syndrome where he doesn't see that they like him or stuff. It's very off-putting, it's very annoying and frustrating. However, towards the end of the series, you realize Kodaka himself was always saying, "I'm sorry, did you say something? I couldn't hear you." Turns out he was saying these things on purpose. That's right, he was saying these things on purpose. Because when he was finally confronted by one of the girls and stuff, he had nowhere to run, nowhere to say, "I'm sorry, I didn't hear you," because the person said it again. And he kept pretending, to the point where he couldn't pretend, he ran off. He ran the F off, man. Dang. So I know you're saying, "Oh man, what it was," but no, this dude has problems. He always wanted a close relationship with friends, but now that has it in his grasp to have a relationship, he runs off because this is not what he wanted. He's afraid of confrontation of it because he doesn't know how to deal with it himself. You'll be surprised where you don't is where some people have to take one step at a time. They can't take big leaps because it can really mess with them mentally at the end of the day. And that's what happened with Kodaka in this day. He's put into a place where he's surrounded by a bunch of girls with different personalities, and some of them might come to like him. So eventually, one of them's going to ask him out about that, but he never wanted that to happen. So because of that, he's afraid of getting close to people after that. He runs off, in a way, kind of just joins another club and ends up kind of being in the same situation again, but no one is trying to come around him. But however, the girl from the previous club confronts him on about that, saying you're just doing the same thing over again. Nothing's going to change for you. So they have an interesting battle on top of the school roof, and then it ends on a big cliffhanger where one of the girls say they're heading off and stuff, and he has to go and confront the girl that confessed to him and everything. So that's where it ends. It ends on one of the biggest cliffhangers in all of anime ever. And people said, "When is season 3? Where is season 3?" There is no season 3. There'll never be no season 3. And here's why. So the light novels do continue after this. And what happens is just terrible. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But Japanese authors just don't know how to write things from here. They don't. Some of the manga I read, and I'm reading right now, the decisions that some of the authors make are so god awful stupid. It makes you like, why? Why are you writing it like this? This makes no sense. It's dumb. It ticks a lot of people off. One reason why a lot of people don't like getting into romance animes is because the author, or even harem animes or light novels, is because the author always ends up creating a stupid conclusion that ticks off everybody at the end of the day. It happens so often. It's like, why did you even make this if you didn't know how you wanted this to end? This was dumb. This was stupid. An open ending or an ending that makes no sense. They do this a lot over there, and it's very frustrating. It is. Imagine investing into a good romance anime or a harem anime or a manga, light novel, and then it's going nowhere, or someone's making the dumbest decisions ever. And like, why is the author doing this? This makes no sense. And it makes you not want to drop a thing. It makes you not want to pick up another one ever again. But yet, here I am. So in the light novel, he ends up turning down 2 of the girls that confront him. But the other girl, which is one of my favorites, ends up confessing to him. He ends up going out with her instead, which kind of destroys the sanctity of the club. So they stop going to the club for a while. The club is disbanded. Everything's in shambles. And towards the end of the senior year, they decided, let's just break off for a second. They get together one last time. And then that's how it ends. That's how it freaking ends. The light novel was teed off everybody, and this guy included. It was terrible. God awful. So what does the author do? To the manga. Yes, right around chapter 50 or so, the manga is where things have a turning point. From the end of season 2, from the chapter 50, from the manga, and wherever the light novels is at, is a turning point where the manga anime goes in different directions. See, the light novel had its own ending, which nobody likes, so the manga took a different route, which I'm more satisfied with. Other people say they're not satisfied with it, but I am, determined on how things worked out on the light novels and the anime. To me, it makes sense. This person that confessed it to him, he says that he does like them. He does want to do do things to them, but he says not right now. He wants them to postpone on them dating for the safety of the club. Let's take care of our club first because they need us. And us being together is going to ruin things. So let's just put that off for now until we graduate and stuff. The person had a tantrum at first because why? But for the sake of him in the club, they agreed to it. So after that, they decided to not go off, and they do find the girl that runs off and find out where she was at the entire time. So where does it go from here on? Some of them make friends outside the club. Some of them meet up with another club and they do some activities together. They learn to grow and they learn to see themselves in different lights. And that's pretty much how it ends. It has a better ending, in my opinion, than the light novel will ever have. So I'm telling you, if you watch this anime, which is a must watch by the way, for the love of God, don't go to light novels. Go to the manga. Go read the manga of this. Usually, but the source, but it's the source material, yes, but the author screwed up so badly that they decided to give it to the manga creator to create a new kind of outcome after that turning point and everything. You can see it as different timelines in a way. So there you go. So please watch this anime, Haganai. I don't have too many friends, but read the manga afterwards. You'll have a better enjoyment. Trust me. Plus, there's a lot more references in the manga, which is freaking hilarious, too, by the way. So, yeah, read the manga. Now, with that being said, I hope this video convinced you guys, because this is personally one of my favorites, and I always go back to watch it at least every other year, because it's that entertaining. In fact, I think I'm going to rewatch again this next coming year, because it's been around that time. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This is Madcrownxox, I'm Anime, signing out.